All right, this is going to be Montana by Frank Zappa from the Overnight Sensation album. Frank Zappa, one of my favorite artists, guitarists, songwriters, entertaining guys of all time. Montana, one of his greatest songs in my opinion. So we're going to get on into it. Okay, so what we got there is basically we're in the F minor pentatonic scale going on here. So we got, so we have the C sharp to the E and back, and then to the F sharp back to E. And then we're going 4 to 6 on the G. Then that time, that third little riff, we go to the E flat there. So here's the whole thing. With that same riff. Now you could also do it in a higher octave. So same notes, just on a higher octave. I'm on the 14th fret of the second string, using the 12 and 14 of the E string there. 12, 14 on the B. There we go to the E flat. Okay, so one more time. 2, 3, 4. Two, three, and. And then we're going to have. Okay, so we got the B, and then we're sliding from the 4 to 6 on the D string to that little B note, 4th fret of the G strings, and then 4 to 6 on the D string. We'll do that 4 times. Now while we're doing that, there's some chords going on. So what's happening there is we got like a B note, we're muting the D, and then we're having a 2-2 open. So it's kind of like an A chord down here with a B bass. We're taking that into a regular B. Now the reason I'm doing it like this is because you might hammer in this pinky on that second string a little bit, on that 4. Just to make it get some fills in there. Now, if you can do it this way and not have to get that other one in there, then you could kind of mute the D string. Maybe make it a little easier to get that hammer-on thing. Okay, so that's what's happening over the... And then we're going to have this chord. This is 4, 5, and 5 down here. It's kind of like a B7 sus, they call it in the book. And then we're coming up here to this E minor 9, they're calling it. That's 9, 7, and 7. So we got 4, 5, 5. Then 9, 7, 7. 2 more hits. Third time, just 1 hit, and then. Okay, so it's just those 2 chords back and forth. So we got. Now we have this B flat major chord, B flat 9 kind of thing. It's got that C on it. So we got, and then this riff switches to C here. Okay, so that was. Then we're going to go E minor 7 to A major or A7, and then D minor 7 to G7. Okay, so let's see from that verse again. C riff, B minor to A, D minor to G. Okay, then we're getting this riff. So that starts on the 13, 14, 16 on the B, 13, 16, and then 12, 12, 12. So 13, 14, 16, and then 13, 16, and then 12, 12. And then do the same exact riff, but up on the 16th fret. And you can kind of slide into it. So 16, 17, 19, 16, 19. And then 15s. And then we're back into the next verse. Still got that major pentatonic lick. And then here's where we have. So great riff in there. We got 9, 10 on the G, 8, 11 on the B, 12 on the little E. And then the 8 on the E, 10 on the B, 10, 7 on the G, to the G note there on the 8th fret of the B string. So once we get to this B flat 9, you barely get into that riff, and you got this other riff. And then we got the E minor A. Now this time we're going to modulate up a half step. F minor 7 to B flat 7. Okay, then we're kind of in the chorus. Move into my castle. Okay, so that riff is we're sliding into the 6. Little 5 back and forth. 7, 5. And then 8, 5, 8, 6, 6. Okay, then we're in the solo, and it's F sharp minor. Kind of a drive-in type thing. So all your F minor pentatonic blues riffs. So Zappa liked F sharp minor a lot. So I'm only going to talk about one riff in the solo that I found really interesting and kind of easy to show somebody. So this is kind of like maybe halfway or so through the solo, maybe a third of the way through the solo, but it's after a certain number of measures and you can really kind of feel it coming. And it seems like maybe he overdubbed this and then used that as a new starting point to get some new riffs going. So so you hammer on the open to 2 and do 2 more 2s, and we're going to do that thing twice. Now think about the rest of the scale. He's got these 2s and 4s. He's going. So he's doing a quick hammer on 2 to 4 on that A string. He's doing that each time. Da 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 da. 2, 3, 4. And so he's just jamming out. He actually goes. He gets into that high note up here, in that higher position on that 7th fret. All right, now we're going to get into that super cool riff at the end of the solo. Okay, so that's the first part of the real interesting thing after the solo. So we have this little walk up. So we have 12 to 14 on the B, 11 and 12 to the E. Now that's going to go 11, 14, 12 to the 13. And that was the 14 on the B to the 11 on the E to the 12 over here on the B. So that's the 11th fret of the D string to that 12 on the B to the 13 on the G. So now we got 11, 14 on the E, back to 13, 11 on the G. So and then we're going to go on the G string, 14, 13, 11. Down to that 12 on the B. So we got now we're going to go. We have 12 on the D. Might as well use your middle finger. We're kind of in that position where your first finger is on the 11. 12 and then 14 on the B, 14 on the D. So let's look at that. And then we have a new part. So 11 on the B, 13 on the G, 13 on the D, 11 twice on the D string there. And then, so that's 11, 13 on the G, 13 on the D, down to 14 on the B. So we got $12. And then we got the same walk up. Same stuff. Now this time we're going to have 12, 14, 12 on the little string. Now we have a new phrase. So these are like 6-note phrases. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's your first set of 6. And then that's the other phrase of 6. So here goes that new part. Okay, so let's do a 6 count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 14, 11, and 9. 11 on the G, 10 on the B, 9 on the G. So okay, then we're gonna have the same 6-note kind of phrasing right here on the 14 and 15 on the B. Okay, so it's using the 14, 15, 17, the 16 on the G. That's your first 6. That's your other 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And this is going to go 14, 11, 9 on the G, and then 12 on the D, 10 to 10 on the G to the D. So everything once again. Now at the end here, we're going to have 9 on the D, 10 on the B, 11 on the G. So from the last half of this whole thing, $12, $10, $10, and then 9, 10, 11. Now we have some new things. So here's a new phrase. 14, 15, and then 15, 17 twice. That's a 6-note thing. The next 6-note thing is so we have a bunch of 6-note phrases here. That's the first one. Second one is, the next one is, and then the last one is, so. And then we got, okay, so that was, now we have some okay, then the last one has 3 pickup notes, and then it's I don't care if you think it's silly, folks. I don't care if you think it's silly, folks. So those are like 5-note phrases up in there. So let's look at all this again. We got back to that kind of phrasing there. And then we got I don't care if you think it's silly, folks. I don't care if you think it's silly, folks. So that whole thing is, I don't care if you think it's silly, folks. So that's 15 and 18 on the G. And then 18, 16, 15, 18, 16 on the A. And then 2 18s there. And it also has that lead-in phrase. 14, 16, 17. So the singing part is, I don't care if you think it's silly, folks. That ends on a 19 on the B. So 15, 18, 18, 16, 15, 18, 16, and then 18, 18, D to G, and then 19. Then we're coming up here, 18, 21, 21, 19, 18, 20, 20, 18, 20, 18, 18. So that's 2 sets of 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all together we got. So obviously that is some crazy hard stuff, especially to do up to speed. I'm not even going to try that. You would have to practice for like weeks to try to get that even close. So at that point, we're back to another verse. Those two things. Now, there's some other chords in the book, in the Overnight Sensation Frank Zappa book. They have some other chords where they go. So here they go 7, 4, and 5 to a 2, 2, 3. And they kind of substitute those. That kind of thing, and then. So those are like a variation in the book they put. And then we got the E minor A, D minor G. And we're back to our riff up here, 13th fret. Up to 16. And then we're to the last verse. And you got that. At some point in there, and then you got the E minor A, then you got the F minor, B flat. And then we got the outro. Moving to Montana soon. And then you got the another place to do it. Then you got that yippee-yi-yo-tie-yay. Yippee-yi-yo-tie-yay. All right, Montana. All right, Frank Zappa, Montana. I hope you dug that. There will be a tab with this. Thanks for watching Damon with Guitar Lessons. More Frank Zappa coming soon. Right on. All right, this one is by request. This is Son of Orange County Into More Trouble Every Day by Frank Zappa from the Roxy and Elsewhere album. So Son of Orange County basically has two chords going on for most of it. E major, F sharp major. So that's our first part. We got. So that was G string, 9, 8, and 6. To 9 on the D. And then we're coming down here, a little E. So that was 6 on the little E and 7 on the B. Then 9 on the E. 8. Coming down to the 4. To the 6. 7 on the B. 5 and 7. 4, 5, hammer on, pull off, to the 6 of the G. So let's look at that again. was 4 on the G to little 6 to 9, 4, 6, 4, 7. You can have 6 and 9 there. So that's like a 6, 9, 9, 6, 7, 9, 5. You actually wait a really long time on that one. And you do one of those unison bends a couple times. So that's 7 with the 9 on the G. So see how long you wait on that one. Okay, and then we're going to have the vocal starts. Napoleon Murphy Brock starts singing here. So we got 5-4 and 6-4 in the G then. You wait a while, and then you go. So that was 6 to 7, 9, 8, 4, and then you got that as a prophet. So that was 6, 7, 5, 7. And then Zappa goes, there's a little fill there, 12 to 9 pull off. So once again from the verse. And then the second part. And then Zappa goes. So that's a couple pull offs, 4 to 3. To the 4 on the D string, and back, 4 to 2. That kind of a thing. So then we had that saving the world, and then the words. So that was 4 to 6, the words from 9, 7, 4. I am not a crook. And then you go. And then we come in here, 4 to 6, 9, 9 to 6 again, 7, 9, 5. And right before that one, he has another fill. So the 3 fills are 12 to 9 on the B. And then later you have this. And then later you have a. Okay, so let's hit everything again here. And then the vocal. Okay, and then we're gonna have E, F sharp major, little horn hit with that. Now we're going to have this new thing. So we got 9 on the G and then 9 on the B. 2 hits each. And then we're going to come to this 11th fret of the G. So that's going to be a hold that slightly and then you got a hammer on pull off and a slide down, ending on this 11th fret of the D. So, and then ninth fret there in the D, back to the G ninth fret. Now here you're gonna go. So that's gonna be a little flat fifth thing there. So we got 9, 10, 9, slide to 7, hit that 9 on the 5th string, and then slide up from 9 to 11 to that octave there. Okay, and then Zappa's solo starts out like 14, 16, 18, couple like double hammer-ons, and then pull-offs, double pull-offs. So it kind of does that 3 times and ends on the high note. And then he gets into a, so he gets into a 14 here, and then a couple pull-offs there. Bending that 16 on the G string. Kind of comes that down and sliding down that pentatonic and gets a little major note in the end of it. Okay, so that's how the solo starts. So I'm gonna have a few different riffs from this solo to show you, not the whole thing. Some of it he's burning so fast you can't even really hear what's going on. So, okay, so about 3 minutes and 22 seconds in, we got, so 4 little sets of that, 12, 9, and 12. And then we're going to 11 and 7 and 7. So you kind of do that 3 times. And then 9 to 7 back on that B string. So we got. And then we have this little riff. So 12, 11, 3 times. 3 times of that. Kind of have a few 12s here in the 2nd string, pulling off to that 11. A couple times on that 11. Now we have a new riff. So that was 17 on the B, 16, 14. And then you go 2nd string, 14 to 16 to the 15 of the G. And then we have, so that's 18 to 14, 14, 17, 16, 15. So you see he's using the arpeggio with a little extra note in there. That'd be the F sharp 7 arpeggio. And he's kind of using different directions on that, which is real cool. Now at this point we're gonna go 16, 14, 18, 14. And then 16, 13, 14, 11, 13, 11. So that ends with 13, 14, slide up to 16. So it's. And then you end with. So that's big 9 to 7 on the 5. And then 9 to 9. Ba-dum, ba-dum. Okay, so once again on this riff. Okay, then we got some more riffs coming up. Here's a great double stop sliding riff. So we're going to slide up into the 18s. And these are really the good fingers to use. 18s, 16s, and then 15 and 14, 13 and 12, 11s to 9s, kind of back to the 11s. That kind of a thing. Now we have this cool sliding riff. 3 notes are sliding down here. So sliding the 9s to the 11s, hitting a little 14. First one, he does a couple pull-offs, ending on that F sharp there. So you got 9s to 11s, little 14, 11s down. And then he does it 3 times here. Kind of slides back and forth between those chords there. Then there's some other stuff he does. So he uses like the 1 and the 3 of this F sharp down to this same thing for E. Then he comes up into an 11 and 9 here. He also gets into a thing where he uses power chords. Kind of ends on the F sharp there, so he uses the 2, 4, 6, and 7. Kind of ends on that F sharp. Then we get into the segue at the end here, where it's moving into More Trouble Every Day. We got nine and 8 on the G, 11 and 9 on the D, first 4 notes there. And then we're going to jump down here. We're going to do 11 and 11 on the 2nd and 3rd strings. 9 and 8 down there. So we got 9, 11, 9. Nine, 11 on that one. 8, 9, 8 to that 11 on the D. So then you got a 9 there, and then 11, 9, and back to 9. 12, 11. So dee doo dee doo dee dum dun dun. Okay, so it does that riff a couple times. We'll do that one more time real slow. So 2 times of that, and you're gonna have okay, that's what it sounds like to me anyway. It could be a note or 2 a little off. But you got 7 to 6, 9, 7 to the 8. So 8, 9, 11, 2 times to the F sharp note. So and you got 5, 7 to 8, 10. B major chord, wherever you want to do it. And then we got that drum fill into More Trouble Every Day. So we got the 4th fret there on the 2nd and 3rd strings, bending up and down a couple times. A little blues scale for F sharp minor there, riff. And then we got so 5, 5, 4, 4 on the 2nd string, 2, 3rd string, down, down, and then kind of an F sharp. Kind of use the B and the A there. There you're gonna have at one point, so that's the A there on the G string. A little pull off. Now we're gonna have one more riff at the end. Changes key on that thing. So 6 and 5 and 3 on the G string. Kind of a 6, 7, 6 or 8 or 6 or 7. Down to that 4 down there. So and then okay, So that was by request, Son of Orange County, Into More Trouble Every Day, Frank Zappa from Roxy and Elsewhere. Hope you all dug that. This will have some tabs with it. So thanks for watching. Check you out later. Dorian mode of the second note of the scale puts us in the key of A. So we're really in the key of A, but never do we hit an A chord in this. We're going to hit like an E chord. And then I'm going to go to a D chord with an E bass. So that's those sevens on the D, G, and B string. Back to E. I'm muting that A string. So we just hear the D with the E bass. So it's good just like from here, from this E. You want to have a whole octave to work with to start on an E there. Now here's this next kind of very useful position. So you got your 9, 11 on the G, and then 9, 10, 12, 9, 10, 12. That also gets you a whole octave of that E Mixolydian scale. Then you got down here. So it's good to know all the positions. Think about down here if we had the open. Open 2, 4, open 2, 4, open 2, 4 again. 1 and 2, open 2, 3, open 2, 4, 5. Because remember, it's like an E major scale. So you got E, F sharp, G sharp, A. When we go back, we got the D. We got the flat 7, C sharp, B, A, G sharp, F sharp, E. So. And it's good to do these exercises. Etc. in like thirds. So you want to get all those different positions. So for instance, this next one. Okay, that takes us into like the first position. Remember, we're in A major, so that was the A major first position. B Dorian second. Third position of A. And this has got our notes up high. So it's like a major type of a thing, like a major pentatonic lick you could do. But when you want the rest of the notes of the mode, okay. It's also like an E major pentatonic up here. There's another E to start your Mixolydian mode. Here's another E. So it's good to know these wherever you can find them. And think about your major pentatonic licks too. Like BB box. And you got that flat 7. So the Mixolydian mode is the 5th note of a scale. So the 5th note of A is that 5 chord. It's also like a dominant. So that's why this mode is like a dominant. It's like a major, but it's got that flat 7 from a dominant 7 chord. So a dominant 7 chord mixes major and minor, and so does this Mixolydian mode. There's your minor element. Your minor element right there. So when we're doing this first progression, I'm going to have a tape now. I'm going to play behind this tape and give you some ideas, and you can play along with me here and solo out. But what we're going to do is we're going to start with this. We got an E chord to start, and then we're doing that D with the E bass. That's going to be our first progression. And then later in the song of Yo Mama by Frank Zappa, he's going to go into E. Then he's going to go to B minor. So what happens here is we have certain notes. As you can see, these nines up in here. Those nines are real important because they're in that chord right then. Now this is kind of like when we flip to that D with the E bass, but we also have the B very heavy in here. So we have some of the notes from that D chord, but we also have that B in there. So this is where you could get into like the arpeggio of the B minor 7, the arpeggio of the E dominant 7 as well, over those specific different chord changes. So we definitely have different notes to lean on. See that? B, D, and F sharp here. Whereas the notes we leaned on over here are B, E, and G sharp. Okay, so let's do a little jamming. So we're sticking on the E. There goes that D. That's part of a D chord there too. That's part of an E chord, that B note. Here we bring in that B minor. That was a good D note, part of a B minor chord, and there's a B right there. So the D note is a good one for the B minor chord tone. See that G sharp right there, part of a E major triad. Sharp. There's that D. E triad. And that was a B minor 7 kind of a triad. Arpeggio. So look at that E dominant 7 arpeggio. Look at the B minor 7 arpeggio. All right, this is going to be the melody to King Kong by Frank Zappa. There's going to be two versions. One is an early version with the Mothers of Invention that's in 3 time. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, that kind of thing. The other one is later from the 80s where they had it in as a reggae in 4/4 time. So 2 different versions, basically the same melody. So let's take a little quick look at it. We got. So that's our first part. We got little 6, and then 9, 7 on the B to 8 on the G. So it's kind of sets of 4 notes as we go. The next set of 4 is 9, 7, 8, 6. 8, 6 on the G. So. The next set of 4 is going to start on this F sharp note, 7th fret of the B string. Goes down to this, so it's 8, 6, and 5 on the G. The 4th set of 4 here is 8, 6, 5 to the 8 on the D. So all 4 of those sets are. And that all works under the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we're back up to the octave of that first part of the melody. So let's take a look at that new part then. Here's our first part. Now we're going to go 5 to 8 on the G, 6 on the G to 7 on the B, and then 8 to 9. And now here we have the 7 on the B to 6 on the E. And then we're going to start going 1st string and 2nd string, 9th fret, 11th, 14th, 16th, and then we're back up to the octave of that note up here. So it's going to be like a. Okay, so we got. So this one's a little different. That's our first bit. So that was dum, 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 da, dum. So we're starting up here on the 18, 20, and 19 to 20 to 18 up here in the G. Then we're going to go. So that was 19, 18 to 21. Back to the 19. So after we go. So that was 18 and then 20 on the G, 19, 18 down here. So from this one more time, we got. So the next set here is the 20, sorry, on the G, then 18 on the B, back to the 20, so. So that last riff, we got 18 to 20 on the G, 17 to 18 on the G, we got 20 on the D, 16, 18 on the D. So we got. And then we're going to have this 20 down here. You can do a little bend on the 21. Back to the 20. You want to keep all those in sets of 3s. So it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so let's break all that down one more time real slow. So we got first set of 4. So I'll give you a 3 count. 1, 2, 3. So now we're going to look at the reggae version in 4/4 time. Like slides into each first note of the melody. So. And to accommodate that slide there, I'm not doing it down here. You could do it down here though. Wherever you want. So it's got a different little riff to it there. So we got, so this would be a 4 count. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the interesting part there is dum dum da 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 dee da da dum. So one more time. So when we get into these nines here, you can start kind of sliding into each note. And here there's a little pause and they go. To keep it all in 4/4 and everything, they kind of had to slow that riff down. And then you wait for a couple sets of 4s, so it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then do your high notes. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's look at that one more time again. So we're sliding into the 11 from the 9 on the B. We got the 9, 7 to 8 on the G. So we got. Then we're going to slide into the 9. We got the 7 and the 8, 6. And then we're going to slide into the 7. And that's kind of a run-on phrase there. Then we get back into our same walk-up. And you can even slide in this high one. All right, King Kong by Frank Zappa. Check out those two different versions. You got the King Kong from the original album, like late 60s, 69 or something. And then you got, I believe it was like 84 tour. It was either 80, I think, or 84. But there's one with a green cover. It's from the You Can't Do That on Stage Anymore, Volume 3, I think. Frank Zappa, always the coolest stuff. Thanks for watching. This will be a tab with this. Have fun. Talk to you soon.